If someone had told me years ago that I would end up like this, I would have laughed. I, Hilda, the cheerful girl with big dreams and a heart full of love, never imagined I'd become the woman who cried herself to sleep every night. My marriage to Austin was supposed to be my happy ever after, but it became my nightmare. Austin was a man of great charm when we met, tall, handsome, and full of promises. I thought I'd hit the jackpot. "You'll always be my queen, Hilda," he used to say, holding my hand tightly as if the world would end if he let go. I believed him. I believed every word, every smile, every soft kiss. But that was before the wedding, before the vows turned into chains. The first time he hit me, I thought it was my fault. Maybe I had said something wrong. Maybe I hadn't cooked the stew right. "I'm sorry, Austin," I had said, holding my swollen cheek, tears running down my face. He didn't even look at me. Instead, he muttered under his breath, "You're so useless, Hilda." From that day, the love I once thought was unbreakable started to crumble. Every morning, I woke up hoping he'd change, that he'd see the pain in my eyes and remember the woman he once loved. But Austin only got worse. He mocked me at every turn. "Why do you smell like fish, Hilda?" "Did you bathe in the river?" he would say, pinching his nose as if I was a disease. Those words cut deeper than his fists. I started scrubbing myself twice, 3 times a day, using every soap I could find, even the harsh ones that burned my skin. But it didn't matter. To Austin, I was always filthy, always not good enough. There were days I couldn't even sit near him. He would push me away, disgusted. "Go and shower again, Hilda. I can't stand your smell." I cried so much that my pillow became my best friend. I stopped looking in the mirror because the person staring back wasn't me anymore. I turned to God. Every night I knelt by my bedside, my hands clasped together, begging for a miracle. "Lord, please change him," I would whisper. "Please make him love me again." But every morning I woke up to the same nightmare. Sometimes I wondered if I was cursed. My mother had warned me before the wedding. "Marriage is not a bed of roses, my daughter, but you must endure." Endure? Is this what she meant? Was I supposed to endure this pain, this humiliation? One Sunday morning, after another night of tears, I decided to go to church. I needed to breathe, to escape, even if it was just for a few hours. As I walked along the dusty road, I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. My heart was heavy, my soul tired. That's when I saw him. A dwarf sitting on a broken wooden bench by the roadside. He looked different. His skin glowed like he had been kissed by the sun, and his eyes sparkled with mischief. "Good morning, madam," he said, tipping his tiny hat. His voice was warm, playful. I hesitated but managed to smile. "Good morning." "You look like you've been crying," he said, his head tilted to the side as if studying me. I wanted to deny it, but the truth was written all over my face. "Life has not been kind to me," I admitted softly. He nodded, as if he understood. "Life can be cruel, but sometimes it sends you little gifts to remind you that joy still exists." I didn't know why, but his words brought a small flicker of hope to my heart. "My name is Ronnie," he said, extending his hand. "Hilda," I replied, shaking his hand. It was small but firm, warm like the sun, and just like that, a spark lit in the darkness of my life. I kept thinking about the dwarf I'd met on the road. Ronnie. His name stuck in my mind like a stubborn song, and his words played over and over again in my head. Sometimes life sends you little gifts to remind you that joy still exists. That evening, I found myself walking back the same path, pretending to go to church, though it wasn't even a service day. My heart raced as I wondered if he'd still be there. And there he was, sitting on the same wooden bench, this time munching on roasted groundnuts like he didn't have a single care in the world. "You're back," he said, his lips curling into a cheeky smile. "Let me guess. Still praying for a miracle?" I burst out laughing, the sound strange to my own ears. It had been months since I'd laughed like that. "Maybe I just wanted to check if you're real," I replied, folding my arms. "Ah, I'm very real," he said, standing up and doing a little bow. "See? Flesh, bones, and charm to spare." I couldn't help but laugh again. Ronnie had this way of making the heaviness in my chest feel a little lighter. "Why are you sitting here anyway?" I asked, genuinely curious. "Waiting for someone who needs to smile," he said simply, his eyes locking with mine. I felt my cheeks heat up, and I quickly looked away. "Well, I should go. I don't want to be late. For prayers." Ronnie raised an eyebrow. "Prayers? On a Tuesday?" Caught. I stammered, Special prayers?" "Special indeed," he said, grinning mischievously. "If you're ever tired of pretending, you know where to find me." I walked away quickly, but my heart stayed with him.